Hello and welcome to the Sewing Studio. Today I'm going to show you how to make these gorgeous little Christmas stockings, and these are very versatile because you can either hang them on your tree, you could pop them on little pegs, make 24 of them and have them as Advent stockings, or you could have them at your Christmas table. You could embroider an initial on them and pop a little chocolate or a little gift inside. They're really quick, easy and fun to make. So I'm going to show you how to make these. So I'll just move this out of the way. So what you're going to need for this project is you're going to need some Christmas fabric and a stocking template. Now this is one that I just drew myself. So depending on how big you want your stocking, draw yourself a template as big as you want or as wide as you want. Now these stockings are perfect to make from these smaller prints. So this is the Macawa Christmas range, and we've got some nice little small prints. And what you want is a good contrast of fabric, because you want your stocking and your cuff in contrasting colours. The other thing that's good is if you've got some Christmas fat quarters. So we've got these Debbie Shaw Christmas fat quarters, which are lovely, and you've got lots of contrast there. So that would be ideal if you didn't have any Christmas scraps. So let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw around our Christmas stocking template, and I've had this one for years. I first did this as an advent calendar for one of my daughters. So I made 24 of these, and then I put them on pegs and I numbered the pegs 1 to 24. So I'm just going to draw round the stocking. And I'm just using an iron off marker pen. Be good if I could work out how to get the lid back on. And then I'm just going to pop a pin to hold the two pieces together, and I'm going to cut those out on the line. And then to make the cuff, what you need to do is you need to work out how far down the stocking you want the cuff to come, and you need to double that because we're going to fold it over. I know that mine measures 3 by 4.5 is the piece of fabric I need. So I'm just going to cut this at 4.5. Let me just straighten that edge up a minute. Just going to straighten it up first. So 4.5. 4.5 by 3. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this in half, and I'm just going to press it wrong sides together. So I've got the nice bright piece of the fabric on the outside. So I'm going to press that in half, wrong sides together. So I've pressed this in half. I'm just going to set that aside, and on the machine I'm going to sew a scant 1/4 of an inch, and I'm sewing it just to here on the side where the toe goes. So just to here on the side where the toe goes. And I'm not doing a 1/4. I'm doing somewhere between a 1/4 and an 1/8 really. So if I show you, that's my stitch line there. And I've done this right sides together. So what I'm going to do now is I'm opening the stocking, and I'm going to just finger press this open like this, finger press that seam, and then I'm going to put my cuff onto here. And then I'm going to sew that across the top. So I've got my right side of my cuff to my wrong side of the inside leg of the stocking. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this over, again finger pressing, so I flip that over and that's now on the outside of the stocking, so it's on the right way round. So then we're going to fold the stocking in half where we've done this little seam. Let's just line it up a bit better. We're going to fold it in half. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pop a pin there, and you can see I've probably got a little bit too much of the outside cuff. So all I'm going to do is just cut that piece off. To get rid of the bulk. And I'm going to take approximately 5 inches of ribbon. I'm going to fold that in half, and I'm going to place a piece either side, because I'm going to sew this in at the same time as doing my seam. So flip it over there. Let's come down a little way, I think. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it with one of these little binding clips. And then we're going to start to sew. And then as you come to the last piece, you're going to join up with your original stitching that you did down the front of the stocking. So I'm just going to go all the way around, make sure that I haven't missed anything, and I can see that I'm very close to the edge there. Because I'm sewing in a curve, I'm actually going to put it back on and sew again. Because what I don't want to do is when I turn it through, find out that I've missed a place. So just double checking all the way around. I've done that. And then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take some small scissors and just snip very carefully into your curve at the front. You shouldn't need to take off too much, because if you've done a seam somewhere between 1/8 and 1/4, there's not going to be a huge bulk of fabric, but just where you want your stocking to curve and at the back of the heel, just cut in some little snips. And now I'm going to turn it through. So I've snipped here in the back of the heel, around the heel, in the curve here, and just around the toe. So anywhere that's curved is where you want to make your little snips to keep the curve going. And now I'm just going to turn this all the way through. Just carefully poking out the heel and the toe. Turn it all the way around. I'm just going to go over to the iron and give it a little press. Just give it a little tidy up of any odd threads. And there we have our little mini Christmas stocking. So I'm just going to hang that on the tree with the other ones. Let's put it a bit higher up. Let's pop him up there because he's got a bit of a longer string. So there we are. And that's how you make those gorgeous little Christmas stockings. As I say, they're really versatile. You can embroider an initial on them, you can put a number on them, decorate your tree, turn them into an advent calendar. So as always, have fun, make it your own, and I look forward to seeing you next time here in the sewing studio.